Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith of the Black Quant Edge VTF here at T3 Live with this week's market wrap up and kind of what we like here. A little trending finally, huh? All right. Spook them out a little bit. And so last week, every weekend I do a much more extensive breakdown at Smith in the Black on YouTube, all one word. Also tweet that out at Rob in the Black if you want to get that. But for today, when I talked about last week and I said, we got to see who throws the first punch. And what I meant by that was you look at that weekly, and we were just chop, inside, outside. So what I mean by the first punch is the first attempt at really taking this thing out. And so we were very fortunate because we got a clean break this week. This is why you hear me talk about the inside bar. So what do we get? Monday, inside bar. Right there, the inside day, and boom, never makes a higher high for the rest of the week on that. QQQ, the same, inside day down, and really a thing of beauty there. So you can just try and follow all that stuff to the downside. We got a little help from the crude Earl, and once again, if you go to USO, here, this is the countering of the inside bar, the reversal strategy, which means that when you see an inside bar like so, if it doesn't make it out and it opens and closes back in there, that equilibrium is attempted to be thwarted to the downside, which it was. And so for right now, we still have this monthly signal giving some pressure in oil. We did get a little pop out of that today from OPEC, which gave a little spur to the market, but that was short-lived. And if you take a look at this here, here's something you want to know about. When you look at a longer-term chart and you see something that multiple bars still inside one large bar, you can expect to get chopped up in there. And so you can see this after that spike. Crude oil went 1, 2, 3, and we did have an actual good signal here on the 30. Right here, 30 back down. But after that, it really dries up in here. And the reason being is that it's not taking out the highs nor the lows of this bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 bars, all completing in there. And you want to know about that. That's how you get chopped up. And what that does over time, obviously, is going to give you the inside 60s. And now you still have to get out of that. For right now, oil's still kind of an issue. When we finally got the VIX products and stuff to pop their heads up, that's good. And there's your VXX here. So the question is, can it take out all this stuff? Are we really going to get scared inside day when we come into on Monday? And I'll get to that in just a second. But having volatility rise, certainly a good thing as a trader during the day, I'll tell you that much. So what we do have coming in here, you've heard me talk about this pattern as well, the momentum shooting star. And what that means is, just exactly if you're watching all day, S&P rallies, but then fails and comes all the way back to the lows. And so anybody who bought today, if they put stops down towards the lows, Monday could be a little brutal. But oftentimes we can see a wipeout when we get that. There's your inside day. Here's your momentum shooter. Because you might remember the Brexit did that as well back here. And I can shrink that down a little bit for you. Brexit was the end of the world here, and this is a momentum shooter. Took everybody out that Monday, and then once again the old turnaround Tuesday. So we have that set up for Monday if they want to spook them coming into the election. QQQ the same. Like that, trying to come down, see if they can expand some of this range. We'll see how that goes, because if we've been watching these internals, obviously we've had a few problems in there. And if you go to the retail, we've talked about this, XRT. Ew. And there's your momentum shooting star and an inside day to boot towards the lows. The IBB, talked about this broadening formation here weekly, and that being a problem. The upper level one now causing this to try and take all this stuff out. That's still a big problem. FAS still trying to hold on here, but it's starting to expand the range just a touch. Not really getting killed here, but we certainly want to keep an eye on that. Going forward. The other main problem is that over the course of the last year or so, anytime we've seen a market downturn, we've seen money flow back into defensive names. We're not seeing that this time. That's a problem. There's your XLP coming down, your XLU. Not a total disaster, but it's certainly not flying in there like it was before anytime we saw some. The one glimmer of hope at this point really is that a lot of this tech stuff is coming off the highs, and so maybe some corrective activity. And you've got the transports. Transport's still hanging around. Transports didn't budge, and so we'll keep an eye on this. You can see this choppy doji stuff on the weekly, but certainly not breaking down by any stretch as yet. But as far as Dow theory is concerned, we'll keep an eye on that. Another thing that is potentially bad and or good is that when you have a move to one side, up or down, whatever it may be, you shouldn't see any more equilibriums inside bars. Everything gets blown out, and that's usually towards the end of the move. And so, unfortunately, at this point, we're not seeing that. And with the trannies, what we're going to see is like we got this big down move in the S&P, well, whatever you would call it, but you're still seeing a lot of inside weeks. And so what that means is just like like on the inside bars on a Monday can cause a reverse on a Tuesday, they can either reverse this market back higher because they're too strong to take out last week's lows, or they reconfirm this down move by breaking to the downside. So you see Southwest Air going inside week. You've got UPS goes inside week. You've got CHRW, more trannies. Norfolk Southern, Spirit Airlines, all trannies going inside in the week, so we'll see how that goes. In the Dow, you got Johnny Jan staying inside week. You've got IBM, so all this stuff's going to matter to the Dow. You've got Procter & Gamble. You've got Boeing. And you've got Walmart, all in the Dow going inside week, so we'll see how that goes. Tech space, Twitter stays inside week, still seeing what this gap is. You going to come up into the gap, or is it down, hold, and repuke down into there? NXPI, obviously a lot of news around the semis and inside week there. Western Digi going inside week. You've got Cirrus Logic in the semis here, inside week. With those oils, you do have Conoco staying inside week. I'll be in a tight range. And SU, we want to see how these things act. This thing actually was trying to go up, SU in front of oil dropping. So if this is a false breakout here, inside week break back into that range, potentially, and certainly with an inside day in the retail, I want to see if there's any hope over there. You got Walgreens inside week. You've got the Walmart I pointed out. You got Lulu. You've got Brinkers. And as you can see, the big guys like Costco, and that's, once again, when I talk about the momentum shooting star, that's the momentum shooting star weekly that took this down. And if this completes this measured move, you got all sorts of trouble in the Costco, but we'll see how that goes. In the IBB stuff, you got Celgene staying inside week after an outside week, so slightly neutral and positive there, almost bullish engulfing on the day. And you got the XME commods staying inside week. So there's a few pockets still trying to hang around there. The momentum shooting star could get a little hairy right out the chute, but we'll have to see if that confirms. But most of these sectors obviously having some tough times, but we've got the trannies hanging around. FAS is not completely broken down yet, and sometimes they can fake it till they make it. But scary election coming, and who wants to do anything in front of that? We're going to find out on Monday morning. All right, like I said, a more extensive market breakdown over the weekend. Smith and the Black on YouTube, all one word. At Rob and the Black on Twitter. I'll tweet it out. Other than that, I'm Rob Smith from the home of the world champion Chicago Cubs with this week's market wrap-up.